Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video giving my thoughts. First Q&A for this week after the double premiere for Fear the Walking Dead Season 3. And the first question for this one is, did AMC just kill Fear the Walking Dead? And as I've been saying 100 times this week, major spoiler warning because of the huge character death in the double premiere. If you haven't seen it yet, did all kinds of videos this weekend, did the review for both episodes individually, did a reaction video to the major character death, and did video predictions for what I think is going to happen in episode 3. So all of that is in the channel. Check out the channel if you guys want to see any of those videos. So this one I couldn't wait to do. I absolutely wanted to do this one pretty much right away. Topic, did they just kill Fear the Walking Dead? And of course, what I mean by that is, by killing off Travis, did they just kill the goddamn series? Because here's the thing. This is always a tricky thing that we've talked about lots of times in Q&As over the years when people ask me, Trev, what do you think if they kill off this character? Or what do you think if they kill off that character? There's certain characters that I view as like safe, right? These are characters like in the original Walking Dead series, such as Rick Grimes, Daryl Dixon, and Carl, for example, or maybe Michonne. There's a few of them, that really, if you killed off, it would be detrimental to the series. It would be a big deal for the show, and it may or may not be a good thing. At first, you're going to get a pop because you just killed somebody off. So you're going to get a lot of interest, a lot of buzz about the show when you kill off a major character. Say if they were to go in season 4, let's say, and kill off Rick Grimes. So have a battle with the governor and have Rick be killed off in season 4 or something. If they were to do that, which is kind of the equivalent of what they've done here with Travis and Fear the Walking Dead, although, the way we think of Rick now is after 7 full seasons, so we're more attached to Rick than we ever were to Travis, and it was the original series and everything. But in terms of equivalency, it'd be like maybe Rick at the start of season 4 or something, seeing Rick getting killed off at that point. Now, if they were to do something like that, which is what they have done in Fear the Walking Dead, it brings up a lot of questions. Of course, there's going to be a lot of hype for the show right after they did that because people are going to want to see what direction they're going to go in next after just having such a shocking, big character death that was very unexpected, as they did in Fear the Walking Dead Season 3's premiere. Very unexpected death, extremely unexpected for most people. The question is now, okay, in the immediate future, you're probably going to get higher ratings because you went for it and you did something big. But long term, is that going to, negatively impact the show? Because the thing is you need to have engaging characters that people really want to see, that people want to tune in to see. You need to have great characters. In the Walking Dead TV series, they've had Daryl Dixon alive all this time. Partially because he's such a huge draw for the show. If they were to kill Daryl off, you'd get a huge pop at first. People wouldn't be able to believe it. Huge amount of shock value and everything because it'd be so unbelievable. And everybody will be talking about it. But then a year, 2 years later, you don't have that great character to use in your storylines. With Fear the Walking Dead, one of the biggest problems with the show is you don't have that many core group characters right now. In the original Walking Dead TV series, we had a lot more. We've always had Rick, we've always had Daryl, we've always had Carol and some of the others. Now, Carol was not always at the forefront, but we've always had a good number of characters. Glenn was there up until season 7, and you had a really strong cast and crew of characters, and you had a good amount in the group. In Fear the Walking Dead's group, man, it's getting scarce already because you only have, the 3 Clarks left out of the entire Manawa family, or Travis and Liza and Chris. They're all dead now, so they're all cleaned out of our original crew. You only have those 3, and then we added on Ophelia pretty early on, so she's there. Daniel Salazar is probably going to come back, and then you have Strand. But right now, it's really looking shy because you have Strand, and then you have the 3, and we're not even seeing Ophelia or Salazar right now. So it's like you have 4 characters, in the whole show. It's like 4. It's such a small roster, you almost think to yourself, you can't even kill off anybody else. Now, they've added on a few others. Luciana's in there, and then we've got this new group that they're integrating with now. but it's just such a small amount of characters compared to where The Walking Dead was at in season 3, where we had the whole prison group. We had Herschel, we had Rick, we had Lori until she was killed, T-Dog, and all these other characters, Maggie, Glenn. You know, you had a bigger roster to play with there, Carol and everybody, that you know, you had a reason for people to tune in and to come back because they care about these characters. In Fear the Walking Dead, the character I cared about the most, still do, was Travis. He was my favorite character. Now, I know a lot of people like Nicholas and a lot of people like Alicia. Not that many people like Madison. You know, I've seen in comments, there's not that many Madison supporters. So by killing off Travis, you made I'd say a very risky decision. Now, you could argue they need to do that because Fear has been, you know, it's been confirmed for a 4th season already, so we're going to get a 4th season one way or another. But by killing off Travis, what is this going to look like next half season? You know, next after the mid-season finale, you know, who are they going to concentrate the story around? Because personally, I enjoyed seeing what Travis was going to do and his decisions more than anybody else. You know, Nicholas is always a loose cannon. He's interesting, but to see what he's going to do. Madison has gotten really interesting because she's, you know, really showing her villainous side when she's talking to her kids. But it was really cool to have Travis there as a really strong, you know, fighter type of character that was, you know, that was really cool to see. So I got a few comments here from you guys. Want to give my thoughts. Evan Water says, anyway, show's going to die even more now. Because, you know, in a way it's like, and I hear what he's saying, it's like they shot themselves in the foot. It's kind of like, you know, you killed off Travis, but he's a lot of people's favorite character. And then we have Guardian X1 who says, any chance the death is a fake out? I think it may be a fake out to the fans, and we will see him come back in a few episodes. You know, not from what was said on Talking Dead. If you didn't see Talking Dead, it looks like the showrunners confirmed and the actors confirmed. You know, I don't think they would lie like that. If they were going to do something like that, they wouldn't have both of them on there on Talking Dead saying that. So I was in kind of the state of denial like you are, Guardian, where I was like, I don't think they're really going to do this because it's so risky for the show to kill off a character like Travis when you don't have that many others to really base your storylines on. You know, he really is kind of like Daryl in a way, I guess, from Walking Dead, or Rick, where it's great to have them there. As you're having a story go through, it's really exciting to see what they do and maybe some action with fighting and stuff, and you know, having a character like that to use. Now who are you going to have for these kind of fight scenes and that to kind of fight their way out of things? It was cool to see with Travis kind of his you know, brute, blunt force. And we don't have too many other characters. Maybe Nick, and then of course the women, which you know, they can fight their way out too as well. But you know, it's just cool to have like a strong, you know, alpha male type leader. A lot of times, people, you know, want to see, you know, these type of atypical type of characters a lot of times. And it's going to be different having a you know, a female at the forefront, and with Madison being kind of like our lead protagonist, and this kind of confirming that Travis is not going to be it. It's just, it's definitely a strange decision, and I'm still kind of perplexed as to why they went this route. It certainly got our attention, but at the same time, it's like, oh man, you know, I just don't know for the future of the show. LoneSurvivorRyan says, I was also thinking that he was still alive until Dave Erikson confirmed it. They just lost their Rick Grimes of the show, damn it. Did I miss something, Trev? Travis was killed, said Leo A. It sounds like Leo might have missed the second episode, so sorry, Leo. But yeah, bro, you know, I mean, it's what it is. Watch it. You know, you got to see it. That's one thing you can't deny. You got to watch it, man. I mean, if you've seen Fear the first 2 seasons, you have to watch this premiere. Edwin Ortiz says, Travis gone, now there's no reason to watch the show anymore. And, you know, that's what I'm worried about right there. Swanee Rand says, this show is a mess. Backy302 says, when the producers sign the lead character in a show like Fear the Walking Dead, don't they sign them to multi-year contracts on a set production schedule? Maybe the producers wanted him off the show due to slow ratings. Don't know. You know, I really have no idea. I've thought about a few possibilities. That's one of them. Another possibility I thought of is maybe if we're seeing a group of villains, they felt like Travis might not belong there in that story arc. Like if you look at what Madison is saying, you know, about we'll just take it over, you know, her whole philosophy, her whole attitude maybe Travis doesn't really fit with that. Maybe he's the good man, as the episode title was called. Maybe that's who he is, and they felt like writing-wise he doesn't fit with this direction they're going to take the group in, which is to be a group of villains. Maybe Travis can't be there because that's not who he is. But I don't know. I feel like it would have been pretty easy to kind of make him merge, because after losing his son and everything he went through in season 2, I really, at the finale there, I really feel like, he's kind of a villain already, having killed off those 2 guys. I just don't know, man. It's so crazy. Jim Did It Not Me says, although I really like Cliff Curtis's character Travis in Fear the Walking Dead, part of me always felt that he wasn't going to make it long term, and the main story's protagonist, to me at least, is Madison Clark. I just didn't expect them to kill Travis off this soon like they did. Still an amazing premiere. Rest in peace, Travis. You will be missed. So some great comments there, and I want to see more in the comment section below from you guys. Let me know what you think about the future of Fear the Walking Dead now that they've killed off Travis. So without Travis, with the rest of the crew there, I mean, for me personally, obviously, I'm still going to watch because I'm a huge fan of The Walking Dead, and I'm so interested and intrigued to see where they're going to go with the show now. I'd say this type of thing can never work, but with Game of Thrones, they've consistently killed off people's favorite characters and, brought up kind of other characters and had them become, given them some really good stuff to do and had them become more popular, and kind of went with the ones you wouldn't expect to survive to actually be the ones to survive, and it worked for them. So we'll see if it works for Fear. Just killing off your main, alpha male leader of the group, I want to say, is it's definitely a crazy decision. And I guess if they felt like the show maybe was, kind of like maybe they weren't sure about the show and the show was in some kind of jeopardy, maybe they decide to do that or go for it, just to kind of, keep us, like, just to give us that impact in something we really did not expect at all, and kind of capitalize on the fact that there is no comic book series and that they can kill off anybody, certainly after a death like that. I do feel like with Fear the Walking Dead, you can kind of like feel like even less secure than you would with the original Walking Dead, because you really have no idea. So I don't think Fear the Walking Dead is dead yet. I think this is an extreme measure to try to keep the series going and get people to be invested and care about it, and really, get some buzz about the show going, because maybe after the first season and the ratings kind of, decreasing, maybe they felt like they need to do that. Either that, or maybe that was always the direction from the start. It just seems so sudden to me that I have to think, like, did they always plan to do this in the 3rd season at the premiere to kill Travis off? Is that why they gave him some really cool stuff at the end of season 2? For me, I just think like Travis was just starting to get good, and how they killed him off, it's like, damn it. But at the same time, it just makes the show like so unpredictable and crazy that, I gotta watch now. But at the same time, it's like, oh, my favorite character from the show is dead. Who am I gonna like the most, out of the other survivors? So write your comments below. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this. I don't think they've totally killed it yet. My answer to the question is no, I don't think so. But it certainly is a drastic move, at that time, I think, to kill him off. I could understand if it was season 3 finale, but season 3 premiere? It's pretty crazy, man. It's pretty drastic. You'd think they'd bring in some new characters first, then kill him off after you have some new people, because there's just not that many. So write your comments below. Let me know what you guys think. And if you like this video, please thumb it up below. You can also share and favorite if you're new and you want to subscribe. Button left to subscribe. That's it for this video. I'll see you guys again soon for another video. Send me more questions for Fear Q&As this week. Lots to talk about. It's Trev. I'm saying peace. See you guys soon.